So now we are going to discuss about the useMemo. Okay. So there is a hook called useMemo. What it is going to return. Okay. Suppose in a component, you are taking any example as a component here. And if you want to do any calculations, okay, suppose let us go to any component here. If you are writing any code, how many times this line will be executing? Multiple times. Whenever re-rendering, this component will execute that those many times, right? But we don't want to write those many times our code. We want to execute only some particular amount of time. Only whenever my properties changes, that time only I want to execute the code. The remaining times I don't want to execute the code. In such cases, we can go for a concept called useMemo. Okay, let us see here. So here in the employee component, we are loading the data. I want to filter the data based on some search box. Whenever I'm searching it, I want to filter the data. That filter the data, I want to check it here. Or for some other example, suppose here, if there is any amount is here, I can calculate. I want to calculate all employee salary. If you want to calculate all employee salaries, then that also you can do inside the useMemo approach. Okay, so let us try to do it here. I want to do the useMemo and filter the employees. Let's go by step by step. Okay, so I'll open my employee component. Okay, employee.js. Okay, we'll go to the first. We'll write one search box. Okay, if you want to write any search box, what is the code we should write it? We should write like a input box type is equal to search, and we can close it, and we can write like a class name is equal to what is the class name? Form control. Okay, so let us see whether we have a search bar or not. Yes, we have the search bar. Now we want to decrease the size. We can go for like a -50, and you want to center, you can write like a m-auto, something like this. Okay, some search bar is coming in the center. Now whenever we are typing it, we want to clear the results, and I want to do some filtering approach. Okay, so this is one of the use case only, not only for filtering. If you want to calculate all employee salaries, we can calculate. If you want to filter, we can use it for multiple purpose. We can use it. Okay, let us try to see it for our purpose. So whenever we want to track our input changes. For this is the reason I want to create one state variable. Okay, so what is the state variable? I want to do it search text or something like this. Like, so here I am writing a search text and set search text is equal to empty. This is okay. Now I want to integrate this one with the my input changes. Let's go to my input box. Here, whenever on changes is there, on changes. Okay, I want to call that I want to set this value to there. So how can I do it? I can write a handle change, right? Handle search something. Okay, so let us write this handle search here in the top. Okay, so here we can write it. So we can write a function handle search, and we can write it. So here you can take it as event as a argument. Okay, so now we want to get the value from event. How to get the value from event? We can write event data target data value. Where we want to search that value? We want to search that value into search text. So we will say event data target dot value. So that is the reason we will set it. So now setting everything is done. Okay, now we want to filter the results. Okay, suppose you want to filter the results, then we can write some code here. I will go to top here. How to filter the results here? You can write it directly like this. First time we'll write it directly. Okay, so I will say if search text is there. If search text is there, I'll write open and close bracket, and I'm going to write like something like this. So let me write one variable, new variable. So let table row data is equal to empty array, something like this. Okay, and this empty array I am going to employees, because this is my array name, and employees dot filter. If you want to filter any data, we have to use a filter method. Inside the employee, what is the object will be having it? Employee. So inside the employee, I want to filter by employee name. Okay, that's the reason I'm writing a employee name. And why I'm writing two lowercase? I want to search ignore case, whether I'm typing in capital or lower. I want to search it. And there is a method called includes. Okay, if this is available in anywhere, then it will return a true variable. So, and whatever the after filter results we are going to get like this. Suppose if there are no records are there, like if there is no search text is there, then what is the code I should do it here? I will say employees is equal to table row data. So now my table row data is coming right. Now I will copy this row data, and wherever we are iterating this table right, let us go to that place. Okay, so here I am iterating. I'll add this one. Okay, before iterating, I want to write one search text. Okay, console dot log of employee filtering. Okay, filtering. I want to see how many times this code will be executing. File, save all. Okay, so let us see. Okay, see here how many times this filter is executing. See, so employee filtering, employee filtering, employee filtering, employee filtering. How many times it is there? So many times. Why so many times is there? Because first time you are setting the state variable. Whenever you are setting state variable, what will happen? Again, it will execute top to bottom. Again, you are setting your loading status. Again, it will execute top to bottom. Correct, right? Even whenever you are setting loading your status, whether do we need to run this code or not? Not at all required. When it is required, only whenever we are loading the employees. At that time only this code is required. The remaining times are not at all required. But if you are directly writing like this, what is the problem? Always it is executing multiple times, right? So we don't want to execute multiple times. We want to get the cached value, final value, and it should run only whenever it's required. In such case, we are going for what hook? Use memo. This memo will return a, it will avoid the re-rendering process. Okay, if inputs are same, and save the catchy value results into the catchy. Let us try to do it. So whatever the code I have written, everything I will move it into one hook. Okay, so let us see here. I'm going to write like a use memo. Okay, use memo. This use memo again will take a two arguments. First is a function, second is a array. Okay, so here the second array is depending on the what which variable? Search text, because whenever I'm changing the search text I want to do it. That is the reason I'm giving like this. Okay, let us import this use memo. I'm importing. Okay, this will return a final result. Correct, right? That is the reason I will copy here whatever the variable here, I will store it like this. Okay, and I have removed it here. Now this is okay, right? Now why in the, I have written this function, right? Whatever the code I have written here in the bottom, I'll copy and I'll add it to here. Okay, inside this function, and even this console statement also I will move it to here. So right click and format the document. Now see, first we are writing a use memo. Inside the use memo, it is taking a function. Inside the function, I am writing my code. Okay, and finally you need to return the value. Return the table, whichever the value you want to return it, you want to return that value. So that value will storing into outside here. Okay, okay, so now let us go to constant. Okay, let me write it. So here let me store into another variable here for only sample sake. Let row data is equal to empty array, and let me copy this row data is equal to row data and something like this. Okay, so I don't want to confuse here and the same name. That is the reason. Now whatever the name it is there, that is fine. Now search text is there, and what is another variable we are internally we are using it, employees. So that is the reason you need to give a comma and add it. So whatever the variables you are using here inside, all the variables you should pass it as a argument. Okay, now file, save all. Let us see this time. Okay, I will clear it. So I'll go to employees. Okay, I'll go to users and employees. So first time it is doing a filtering because the employee is loading it two times. Okay, that is clear. Let us try to do here. I will type the name right, 4. So wherever the Trinits 4 is there, automatically it is executing. Okay, and you clear this one, automatically this use memo is executing. Correct, right? And something like this, whenever you want to do any operation and we want to do only when there is a change, something like this, then we can go for a what hook? We can go for use memo. Okay, use memo will return the final result. Use memo will return the final result. Use callback will return the function, memorized function. Okay, use callback will return the memorized function. Use memo will return the final value. Okay, yes, so this is nothing about the use memo. Okay.